Yeah, the strong numbers.
Well, yeah.
I thought this was gonna be the 16th. I didn't even catch that.
Call a meeting to order. Would you please stand for the pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
See, we have winter accommodations, but I'm thinking that's a misprint.
Yeah.
That's next.
That would be next meeting.
Let the roll call show that everyone is present. We're missing our student
Yeah,
council.
she contacted me. She's just had a work conflict.
Okay. Move on to board member committee report. Start with Howard.
Long range planning committee was.
Long range planning where we went over the demographic study. I found it quite interesting. Wasn't exactly what I expected. Extremely thorough. That's all I have. Nothing on policy.
I had long-range planning and finance.
I had agenda planning and finance.
I would say basketball game. I bet some of you also did that. No? Yep.
Yeah.
Say basketball game. And we had a meeting with the commissioner. Are you going to talk about that?
Well, you had a meeting with.
Oh, I had a
didn't.
meeting. You didn't. I did. Yeah. Okay. So I had a meeting with the commissioner. She called together leadership from Minnesota School Board Association, Association of School Administrators, Education Minnesota, and she had kind of a two-prong agenda. One was she wanted to talk about income, like the gas tax, because if the gas tax were to pass in some capacity, then transportation could move out of the monies, and that money could then be shifted to education. So she wanted just to point out that the income side is as important as the spending. And then she was looking for, within that leadership, for ideas of positive, drowning out the negative, kind of similar to things that Ben has talked to us about, to when people say, well, why should education get 3% and 2%, to have examples of things that she can say back on a district level. So asking those organizations to feed more of the positives and the good things that are going on, and maybe trying to change some of the language in education so that we're speaking more positively about things and not always talking about what we're not achieving, but more what we are achieving. And then I had a C regional meeting on Friday in Isanti, and kind of the same old legislative update, hoping for they're still hoping for 3% and 2%, pushing for that. And
You guys skipped me.
Yeah, I
had
know.
finance.
I was gonna say.
I had finance.
You snooze, you lose,
skipped
buddy.
yourself.
That's right. I noticed too that there's nobody out in the audience that wishes to make comments.
Keep up the good work.
Okay, thanks. Perfect. All right.
Well, I'll just move with the messaging piece and the marketing piece. And I think that, it's an interesting world that we're in today. I think that if you can't, turn on the TV or the news or listen to anything or look at social media and not see some divisiveness, some negativity, it's just, we're in interesting times. And I think that we need to bridge the gap between the reality of the very, very positive things that are happening in our school district and so many things that we're proud of, and people's perception. And people won't necessarily know the quality that we have here in Princeton Public Schools unless we share with them all of the things that are happening. And I'm hopeful that people are noticing that we are trying to spread good, positive messages through multiple mediums on a daily basis. And you should see a campaign that has recently, actually went live today, called Take the Tiger Pledge. And it's something we're extremely proud of, and we hope to move forward for several months. But it's a whole idea of owning your stripes, strengths, and needs. And every one of those words is extremely important. Owning, I mean, that's a sense that we want to bring in our entire community, is this idea that this school is everyone's. It's ours. It's the students, it's the parents, it's the community members. And when you own something, you take great pride in it, and you want to take care of it, and you want to improve it, and you want to defend it, and you want good things for it. Okay. And the whole idea that we all have, every tiger, there's no two tigers that have the same stripes, right? And that's why we're trying to make a play on, we really celebrate diversity and celebrate differences in our students and our staff and our community. And then also celebrating our strengths and acknowledging our needs and trying to get better in the areas that we can. So it's something that you should hopefully see evidence that on a daily basis we're getting some things out on that. Where our main video came out today, there will be follow-ups almost daily over the next couple of months. We are already starting plans for that same quality of message that will begin probably next fall-ish, that will really be targeting more enrollment and recruitment of families that may live outside of our district, to share all of the great opportunities that we have in our district that they may not know of. Specifically, we'll be having two focuses. One is just the overall programming that we have pre-K-12 and beyond. But then the other piece will be a really zeroing into that 4 and 5 year old ages when families are deciding, where should I send my child to school? You know, and that's a huge decision. And we really want to target that and take a look at how we're marketing ourselves in that kindergarten roundup time. Okay. And so we're really putting that under the microscope in terms of the messaging. So, you mentioned some things with the long range planning. That group will meet again, I think next week or the following, to look at the status of our buildings in terms of assessing the different needs that we have in the district. And we'll basically, that group, we had decided, well, we want data to drive decisions in terms of future steps that we would take for facility needs in the district. So we'll let that play out. I've had a few different meetings with Spanish immersion parents. I want you to know that we've just lots of communication on sustaining that program over time and having a high quality program. So a lot to do with, how many sections we'll be offering in that. And that's something we'll continue to put under the microscope. We want to make the group aware of these visioning meetings that we're having as it relates to the high school redesign or the high school design. We have another one coming up on April 4th. So that would be this Thursday.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Like, I went to one of those. Do you want us to go to more than one, or are they the same? Or
Well, I would say that the first one was different than the others. Jim, who flies in from Colorado, who works with Two Revolutions, he switched it up a little bit from the first one. I can't remember if
I
you
went
came
to
to
the first one.
Yeah. So I mean, that's interesting. We meet regularly. I think people understand and have a desire to have some, movement and change. But we almost had to hold people back because this year's really we're exploring, and then next year we'll be trying to design things, and that's where I think we'll have lots of deep discussions here. I would imagine probably several work sessions on what that might look like.
Are the same community members coming to every meeting? Or
No.
No?
Different people every time.
Okay.
Different people every time. But anyone's welcome. They can come, you can come every time if you want. Another coffee and conversation coming up on Thursday. So, lots of things going on, and I will just close my remarks at that. And if you have any questions, I'll certainly love to answer those.
All right, we'll move on to approve tonight's agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Motion was made by Jim, seconded by Deb. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Discuss and act on previous board meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Motion was made by Deb, seconded by Howard. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent?
So moved. Second.
Motion was made by Howard, seconded by Eric Strandberg. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 9, information, first reading of the policies. Are listed there. Summary of changes are listed on that as well. Didn't seem to be any issues from our meeting, policy meeting. Comments on those?
Well, the comment I would just make is that I think we're doing a nice job segueing into including staff that are most relevant to those policies. So they come in and they'll present to us on what those changes might be. So we had a couple of guests at our meeting and they walked us through some things.
Move into the action items under letter A, capital parameters. Is there a motion to approve the capital parameters? And these will all be roll call votes.
So moved.
Does it need to be read verbatim as it's listed there?
So I move to authorize the administration for the next 6 years to plan capital expenditures shown above current year revenue of up to $200,000, leaving an estimated fund balance after 6 years of $950,000.
That is the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Chad. We'll start by roll call with Sue.
Yes.
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 All right. Letter B, the 2019-2020 budget parameters and projections.
Mr. Chair, I just want to make sure that the group fully understands that by directing us to make adjustments of $700,000, that does not, that's just that. That's not the line items on what it's going to be or anything related to that. It's just you directing us to make those adjustments for next year's budget.
All right. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to authorize the administration to decrease the 2019-20 preliminary unassigned budget projections by approximately
All right. Motion was made by Chad. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Deb. We'll start with Howard.
Yes.
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 All right. Letter C, school board financial directive. Is there a motion to approve the resolution as presented?
This is, so the board is aware of although I haven't been here, this is my first year here, my sense is you've done this every year. It's just authorizing authority for administration to make recommendations on adjustments.
Mhm.
I move to accept the school board financial directive resolution as presented.
All right. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion is made by Jim, second by Chad. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Move into milk bid.
This is,
Over that,
we
Michelle.
received 3 bids. Our lowest bid is Dean's. Just need to approve to move forward with Dean's.
I'll make a motion to approve for Dean's. on that bid.
Motion was made by Chad. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Howard. Start with Sue.
Yes.
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 Letter E, resolution for non-renewals. Is there a motion to accept the resolution for non-renewals as printed?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Deb, seconded by Eric Strandberg. That's just a resolution, right? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 11, additions to the agenda. There are none. 12, future meetings are listed there. And is there a motion to adjourn? Someone? Adjourn. Quick and easy, see?
Is that like record speed or what?
Yeah.
I think it was a goal, yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Well, and if Ben with the